Okay, we are at Tanyard Creek with one of our neighborhood water watch volunteers, Amanda Mayberry. Now, Amanda, talk about what neighborhood we're in and the creek itself.
This is Tanyard Creek, and it's in Tanyard Creek Park, and it's part of the Collier Hills neighborhood.
Okay, now you've been a volunteer through the neighborhood water watch for a couple of years now. Can you tell me how you got involved, how you heard about our work?
About 2 years ago, Jason from the Riverkeeper came out to our neighborhood association meeting and spoke to us about what was going on with the creek and asked for volunteers to help sample it. And so I've been doing samples every week since then.
How long have you lived in Collier Hills?
About 2 years.
About 2, so about that same time. Talk about what you thought about the creek when you first moved here, the quality, what concerns you might have had, like what red flags went up.
I was horrified about the numbers that Jason said that they were pulling out of the numbers of E. coli that they were pulling out of the creek. And this is our neighborhood creek. The neighbors are down here on the path every day, and the dogs are down here, and I really didn't want to have such a polluted creek right here around us.
Now you live just across the street, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And I mean, this is a beautiful neighborhood. I mean, the creek itself is really charming and the park is really nice. How important is it to preserve this kind of beauty and this kind of water quality in such a pristine neighborhood?
Well, it's important for us because we see it every day, we enjoy it, but also there's a lot of urban wildlife that use this creek.
Oh.
There's turtles and fish and birds and things down here all the time that are having to live in a polluted creek, and so it would be nice to have the water cleaned up, not only for us, but for the wildlife also.
This may sound like a silly question, but what kind of pride, what kind of gratification do you get out of the work you're doing when you do this water sample and you participate in the program?
I'm enormously proud of it. I think it's great, and in fact, we just found out that the city has fixed some of the issues with the creek, and the numbers that we're pulling out of the creek are much improved now, and I'm extremely excited about it.
So walk me through your day. It's really not a very complicated process, but what do you do every Thursday?
It's a simple process.
Okay.
I take a sample bag and load it in our fancy sampler here,
Right.
and then I take it down into the creek
Okay.
and draw up a sample of water.
And we're talking about just a couple of ounces, right?
Yeah, they really don't need very much to run the data, so I just fill up the bag here and then remove it. This is called a whirl pack, so you spin it.
Has it gotten better over the 2 years that you've been here? Has it been more of a concern or less of a concern, or has it fluctuated?
It really does fluctuate. When we have heavy rains, the E. coli numbers are much greater, and when it's been dry out, they tend to dip down. But since they've fixed the issue, I believe now the numbers we're pulling out are really much, much improved.
You obviously feel good about the work that you're doing. Let's look at on the other side. How would you feel if we didn't have these kinds of services for the neighborhood residents to get involved in and help protect their own backyard creek?
Well, I think it's important for the neighborhood to be involved in it because it is our creek. We enjoy it every day. To expect somebody else to just always take care of things for us is kind of ridiculous. We should be part of this and help to clean up the creek and all the areas surrounding our neighborhood. The other neighbors and the people that use the park are always very excited that we're doing this, and they're very happy to see something being done to keep the creek clean and the park nice. And
Do you recruit any other members or try and get anybody involved? Have you hooked anybody else into this?
yes, there are a couple other neighbors that have filled in for me when I'm unable to take samples, so they've been great about it.
Amanda Mayberry, Collier Hills resident and participant volunteer in the Neighborhood Water Watch program. Thanks so much for taking the time.
You're welcome, thank you.